Have you ever heard of grumpy frogs before? No? I hadn't either. But guess what? Today we're going to read a story about grumpy frogs. It's called Mungo and the Grumpy Frogs, and it is an amazing story. And it's super special because my friend who co-hosts this show with me, Samantha Howard Els, wrote this story. So I hope you enjoy the story. And here it is.
Mungo and the Grumpy Frogs, written and narrated by me, Sam Howard Els. In a Cape Town forest, down by the stream, is a playground in nature of every child's dream. They can splash through the water, build dams with the rocks, and often go searching for grumpy old frogs. This is a favourite of David's to do, and he loves to take his dog Mungo too. Mungo loves this forest like his own backyard, the trees and the stream with the marshes of grass. He can run, he can play, in the sun or the rain. Each day that he visits is never the same. At the end of autumn, on one of those days, Mungo went to the trees to find some shade. The day had been long, the day was still hot, and what Mungo wanted was just to cool off. "I know," he thought. "I'll go to the reeds. It's a quiet spot by the little stream. I can have a splash before I go home, play in the mud and dig for a bone." He did just that, and as he sat, he squelched in the mud and his bum went splat. He thought he heard a little sound, but was sure it came from under the ground. He stood up quick from where he sat and looked at the mud, now round and flat. "That's funny," he said. "I'm sure I heard, but surely not, that would be absurd." "Hello?" he called. "Is someone there?" But nothing stirred in the afternoon air. A little while later, Mungo was bored and decided he needed to go and explore. It was one of his favourite things to do, but all he found was a rotten old shoe. "I give up," he said. "Today's not the day. I won't find a thing and it's getting late." He made his way around the water's edge, then stopped in his tracks when something said, "That's right, go away and make it snappy. This spot's not for you. You're far too happy." As fast as he could, Mungo turned around, but the voice was not above the ground. "I knew it," he said. "I know I'm right, for there's no one here and nothing in sight." Mungo had met some strange creatures before, and this was another of that he was sure. But all was quiet as he looked around, not even a whisper, no tiny sound. The shadows of trees grew taller and wider as the sun made its way towards the horizon. The calls of night from birds and bugs would soon be starting with the fall of dusk. Suddenly, Mungo had an idea. "I'll hide behind this bush right here, then whatever it was will think I'm gone, and maybe I'll see what it was all along." The day was changing into night, where bats and birds will swap their flights. Gently swirling all around, a mist descended to the ground. Slowly from the mud emerged a frog with a frown quite fit to burst. Softly Mungo stepped into sight, which gave the grumpy frog a fright. The frog puffed up to twice his size, his squeak high-pitched, his eyes all wide. The buzzing of insects paused for a beat. Mungo held up a paw and stepped back in retreat. The grumpy frog, to Mungo's surprise, just sat and stared with his watchful eyes. Just as the frog decided to speak, out shot his tongue with lightning speed. It zapped a slimy, wriggling worm, which he gobbled up quickly with no concern. He turned back to Mungo and simply said, "Go away, dog, I am just out of bed. I have slept through since summer and now wait for the rain. Then others will join me and all do the same." The bushes beside them began to rustle. They both stayed quiet, not moving a muscle. The rustling stopped and a hissing took over, which is when the frog puffed up and fell over. A snake quickly darted from out of the bush. It slithered its way to where they both stood. Mungo took a deep breath and growled deep and strong. The frog started squeaking high-pitched and long. The snake coiled up, all ready to pounce, but Mungo was fast with a leap and a bounce. He managed to land on the end of its tail. The snake took off quick with a hiss and a wail. Mungo turned to the frog with a smile on his face, but the frog was no longer in the same place. He hadn't seen the frog fall and roll off, but just then he heard a cry and a splosh. "Help!" came the cry. "Help! I can't swim!" Through the mist and the dark, Mungo ran towards him. "Where are you?" he asked. "It's too dark to see. I see something floating." The frog cried, "It's me!" He was drifting quite slowly along down the stream, but would soon get stuck in the marshes and reeds. Mungo raced along the water's edge, across the little bridge ahead. He splashed in front of the floating frog, who bumped into Mungo and shot right off. The frog was now flying through the air, his arms and legs waving everywhere. "Help!" cried the frog. "This is no fun at all!" Mungo jumped up to catch him before he could fall. They landed in a heap with a thud, covered all over with leaves and mud. As they lay there catching their breath, they heard another voice that said, "What's all this nonsense going on? We haven't been awake for long." Steadily, more grumbles followed as the grumpy frogs came up from burrows. The chorus of croaks grew gradually strong as the forest came alive with song. "So is that where you live then, under the ground?" Mungo asked the frog, who still had his frown. "I don't have time to talk to you, dog, but thanks for the help," said the rather rude frog. "Oh well," Mungo said, with a little sigh. "I tried my best, so I guess it's goodbye." Off Mungo wandered down the path. He couldn't wait for a nice warm bath. He stopped and turned to give a wave, then found the happiest surprise of the day. The frog was actually waving at him, and on his face was a great big grin. The rain was falling when Mungo got home, so he sat by the fire, happy with a bone. "Did you have a good day, boy?" David asked. And Mungo replied with his usual bark. "Woof!"
Now, wasn't that a great story? I'm so glad you listened to it with us. And now you can listen to what some other kids thought about this story too. Check this out. Okay, what did we read today? Mungo and the Grumpy Frog. Did you like the Grumpy Frogs?
Oh yeah, they're so silly.
They are so silly. It was on his back. Yeah, is that your favorite part?
Yeah, I'm back and back.
So this is Mary's favorite part. That's your favorite part. I like how he's smiling. Isn't that cute? So what was this book about? Is it about some happy frogs? It was? The frogs were happy?
The grumpy frogs.
They're grumpy frogs.
It's grumpy.
Can you show me your grumpy face? Hey Mary, show me your grumpy face.
Oh, look at this grumpy face.
That's a silly grumpy face. Are you a grumpy Mary? No, what are you?
I'm Mary.
You're Mary. Are you a happy Mary?
Yeah. What's she doing?
Playing in the leaves. Oh yeah, go get the picture. It says Hannah, because you drew that, right?
Yep.
Yep. Thank you so much for watching.